A game filled with self-driving cars, realistic gameplay, beautiful graphics, and a technology-advanced enemy is a game that stands out. Today we take a look at a franchise I've played since I was a kid, a game that many grew up on, and its most recent announcement, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Let's dive into the details and find out if this is the Ghost Recon game we've been waiting for. Breakpoint is the most recent title announced for the Ghost Recon series. It takes place after Wildlands, the previous title. It is slated for a October 4th release of this year for Windows PC, Xbox One, and PS4, so it's coming pretty damn soon. Now there is a good amount of info to go over, but I'll try to keep this video as short as I can, so I do apologize for any details I skip over. With that being said, a small disclaimer. I didn't play much of Wildlands, but I've played every other Ghost Recon game. Because of this though, I didn't really pay much attention to Breakpoint at first, but I was wrong to do so. Let me show you why. Before anything else, let's discuss the story and how it may actually have the most potential out of any Ghost Recon experience. There seems to be more emphasis on the story here, and it's probably one of the better and biggest changes to the Ghost Recon series. You start off as a special operation agent, part of a group called Nomad. Now at first it seems as if you're on a normal mission, but as your helicopter spirals out of control, you realize this is far from the truth. You wake up from a deadly crash on a paradise island known as Aora, which is filled with diverse environments, from deserts and grasslands to a jungle biome and even gorgeous volcanic areas, which are some of the most appealing areas in games. Now there seems to be RPG elements when it comes to the many aspects of the game, especially the dialogue. Think of it as Mass Effect's conversation system. Breakpoint will have a very similar way of delivering the story to you. You'll have multiple dialogue choices that won't exactly affect the story, but instead expand your knowledge of the world and characters, which is odd but welcoming to see in a game like this. You can play either solo or co-op in a drop-in, drop-out type of experience. At least that's what I've gathered from watching gameplay, so I could actually be wrong on this. This game is very heavily focused on the technology aspect, having self-driving cars, advanced drones, and much more futuristic machinery, and I've got a hunch that the story will slightly be based on all this technology as well. However, the main selling point for Breakpoint, at least in my eyes, is the fact the antagonist is actually played by no other than Jon Bernthal. He's the actor who played both the Punisher and Shane from The Walking Dead, which were both remarkable performances, by the way. Now he plays as a former Ghost member who was a brother in arms with our protagonist. This is the telling factor that the story will actually be worthwhile. It seems that developers are starting to put popular and talented actors into games more and more, and I really don't mind it. In fact, I encourage it. That's one of the reasons I can't wait to play Jedi Fallen Order, which if you're interested, I do recommend checking out my video going over all the info you need to know about that game. Now I don't know what else to expect from the story in this Ghost Recon sequel, which makes me that much more excited. The story really doesn't matter if the gameplay can't hold its own, but that isn't the case when it comes to Breakpoint. There's going to be a focus on more strategic elements, and if you're a viewer of mine, you know this is very important. So situational awareness is key to survival, which always adds to the depth of combat. Now weather can also affect your sight, limiting your options, forcing you to think on your feet. Now there will be 4 classes on launch and more to come later on. You can change these classes at will at a certain station, adding even more depth to the game. Now each having its own unique abilities, which yes, there's also progression, so you will also be constantly making that class you're playing with stronger, though I'm not sure how the overall system is going to work. They've added some pretty engaging mechanics, one of which being the injury system. Now when you get shot, you'll act accordingly. When shot in the leg, you will move much slower with a limp. If hit in the arm, you won't be able to hold your weapon right. This will heavily affect movement and accuracy and should add to the immersive gameplay. This is a simple example, however, as Ubisoft explained that the injury system can worsen as you get hit in the same spot over and over, and I can't wait to see how this injury mechanic actually turns out. It really adds to the survival aspect the game's pushing for, and yes, you can heal these injuries in the field, but I imagine it'd be a good idea to find cover first. But what if your teammate falls on the field and you can't get to him because he's under heavy fire? Well, no worries, because you can simply pick them up as if they weigh nothing and take them to a safe spot and revive them, which should actually be a really useful mechanic. Now killing finishers will also be a thing, and holy shit, they are brutal. I hope there's a good variety of them. Movement is also important for a shooter like this, and it's done well here. The character animations, the weapon swaying, everything looks fluid and smooth. It really seems very detailed. Ubisoft have stated they wanted the movement to resemble reality as much as possible. They want you to feel truly immersed in this world they've created, and I believe they may have accomplished their goal, but I can't say that for sure until I get my hands on the game, which goes for everything I've said up to and past this point. Now like the Division, you'll also be able to snap to cover. You'll also be able to crouch and prone, which is a given for a Ghost Recon game. Now you might want to keep an eye out on the terrain because there are different hills you can fall down and you will injure yourself if you fall down this. Now you can use this to your advantage. Maybe you're trying to get away from an enemy and it could be used as a quick getaway, or you could be just like me and probably just accidentally fall off it all the damn time. Now be careful because this obviously means the environment around you can hurt you, so keep your eyes open. So the movement seems like a major improvement over Wildlands, and we are just seeing alpha footage, so I'm willing to bet the game will be even more optimized on release. But what about the visual aspect? From what I can tell, it's impressive to say the least. There is a great diversity when it comes to the environment and terrain. It really does feel like a paradise island. From the towering trees and vast grasslands blowing in the wind, to the disastrous fiery volcanic areas, every biome has a unique feel, as well as detailed mechanics that force you to think about every move you make. By the way, volcanic areas are so awesome. I wish every game would have this biome. It has an appealing aspect to it. They are hands down my favorite locations in games. Anyways, the game is visually stimulating, which is a very important part to me, but it's made even better with the atmospheric audio.
Got it.
Just from what they showed us, you can tell the hard work put into Breakpoint to make everything realistically beautiful as possible. Even the character models and interiors look really well done. It makes me that much more excited to explore Aurora. Enemy diversity is said to be much more varied, and with a more intelligent AI system, they will be more difficult to take down too, hopefully forcing you to think outside the box for solutions in combat scenarios. Now, one of the main enemies we're going to be facing is a faction known as the Wolves, which are a group of ex-Ghost members who are masters of blending in with the environment and hunting their prey. Worst yet, they are led by the antagonist I mentioned earlier. They will be patrolling the world, so don't expect to be sightseeing, since you'll always need to be on the move, so being wary of your surroundings is an important thing to keep in mind. It's their job to hunt you down, and they will do whatever it takes to accomplish that task. All of this sounds very exciting to me, and for those interested, PvP will be in the game at launch, which is great, but I'm not sure exactly how they plan to implement it. I've also heard there may be tiered loot, again similar to the Division, but this may very well be a rumor. If you can confirm this, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. There's actually one sign of this actually being in the game. The fact that there will be raids in the game may indicate there is lootable gear. That is what raids usually reward their players. The first raid we'll be getting will be actually located in that volcanic area I mentioned earlier. It should make for some interesting gameplay if done correctly. Also, the fact that they actually said there will be an endgame hints at a loot-based system. They used the terminology endgame, so this may not be a rumor after all. I believe this will be the first Ghost Recon to actually feature the RPG-like mechanics, as well as a bit of survival thrown in, and in short, it should make for a fresh and new experience. I don't really have any negatives about the game, not yet anyways. Well, I can think of one thing. The fact that we don't get AI teammates is very disappointing, especially if you like going solo like myself. But this was expected since Wildlands didn't really have it either. Still, it would have been nice to see though. I've probably missed some details. If so, be sure to let me know, but I can say for sure I'm looking forward to this title, and I do recommend you keep an eye out for it when it actually releases in October. With that being said, thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far. The next game I plan to cover is a promising free-to-play title coming to PS4, Xbox One, and the Epic Store as an exclusive. The game has had a playable beta for this last year, but now they're confident enough to release it in full. It's coming out on the 21st of this month, so it's coming in 4 days. It's a action-like RPG that seems to mix a little bit of Dark Souls, a little bit of Monster Hunter, and a bit of World of Warcraft all together, which is an intriguing combination to be honest. I'll have a video out soon going over more details, so if you don't want to miss out, make sure to hit that notification bell so the YouTube system will make you aware of my upcoming content. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. I got broads in Atlanta.